Hi, welcome to Profiles in Grace, a series of short interviews with some very special people, residents of Advent Christian retirement communities. I'm Larry Knowles, president of ACRC, and we've created this series to share with you something that we enjoy every day, the company of and the life stories of seniors whose care we have been entrusted with. Their stories are poignant, reflecting the achievements, the joys, the inevitable strains, and the wisdom of years lived long and well. We hope that they foster for you the same regard that we, whose mission it is to serve them, have for these living jewels. If you'd like to know more about the mission of ACRC through news and updates, or if you'd like to become a partner with us through your support, just reply to this email with which the video came. Thanks for taking time to watch and listen.
In the same way a painter wields her brush or a musician plays her instrument, it takes skill for a writer to make her pen into an artist's tool, something Elaine Peverly of Meeting House Village has achieved over her lifetime. Elaine grew up in Medford, a suburb located about 5 miles northwest of downtown Boston. In the 30s and 40s, not everyone owned a car, and mass transit did not reach into the suburbs as it does today. Walking to school, church, and later work was routine for Elaine.
My father was out of work for 6 years, and they couldn't, the banks were closed. You couldn't get to any money that you might have. They couldn't afford to register the car, so it stayed in the garage. So if you went somewhere, why, you walked. So it's just something you learn to do when it's required.
The need for a practical career, together with Elaine's love of writing, led her to pursue a secretarial program at the Chandler School for Women in Boston's Back Bay, where manual typewriters and shorthand were essential tools of the trade.
Right after high school, I went to Chandler Secretarial School. And when I came out of there, I was working in a patent attorney's office to start with. It was interesting, especially in the patent attorney's office, because you had to learn to be so very careful. You couldn't have any written or typewritten mistakes, because it would make the paper illegal that you were working on. So you had to really get with the program and be very careful not to make any mistakes.
The skills she acquired there, along with her natural talent, would later serve her well at work and as a volunteer clerk in settings like the local town council, museum, and church. After getting an education, Elaine married and balanced work life with the demands of family life.
Here, we were married in 1944, and we didn't have very much money. And so we didn't have any car for a long time, and it was at a time when there was a lot of people out of work. So he was out for a little while. Well, at that point, you just didn't think about it that much, because it was just something that you had to do. So you got to do it, you walk to the store.
Elaine's skills weren't all about business, however. She was also a creative writer, producing short stories, poems, and family histories. For years, she attended the famed annual Writers' Conference in Ocean Park, Maine, and served as president of a local writers group after her young family moved to Kittery, Maine.
I have written about 20 books of various kinds, some for children and some historic and some poetry, a few other things.
One of Elaine's journalism projects has local historical significance. As a feature writer with the Portland Press-Herald in the early 70s, she reported the construction progress of the Piscataqua Bridge, which spans Portsmouth Harbor and connects Portsmouth, New Hampshire with Kittery, Maine. She later turned her work into a self-published book chronicling the project's history. Elaine also co-authored The Dummy Line, a history of the Boston and Maine Railroad, from Old Orchard Beach to Camp Ellis, Maine.
And this is when the high-level bridge was being built. And I was writing for the newspaper at that point. And it's about the building of the bridge from the very beginning, and then when it got opened and so forth. And I'm actually standing on top of the bridge, and it was after it was just completed, and the man that had been working with me occasionally, explaining things and so forth, he took me up on the side of the bridge up on the up here, and so I got a lot of information for my pieces that I wrote for the paper.
Elaine moved to Meeting House Village in 2009, after the passing of her husband of 63 years. While she now wields a word processor more than a pen, we're grateful for the opportunity to serve this influential artist in words.
I wrote this book of poetry, and it was published in 1977, and this one was something that one of the poems that I did. It's called Timeless. I like to walk along the beach in the early morning light and feel the light and peacefulness after the dark and pounding night. There are no footprints in the sand, no children's voices near, no urgency or sudden need, no sadness and no fear. There is no time or here or there. All are remote from me. I am a particle of sand in God's eternity.